Alright guys, it seems like the next update patch notes have already been released, and today I will be having a look into every single detail this Flames of Fortune update has to offer, including cars, EVO changes, and another Drive Syndicate right after the one we had the previous update. There is quite some things to cover, so let's jump straight into it. Alright, so first of all, I would like to give an honorary mention to the new EVO cars making their way into Asphalt Legends within this update, the Aston Martin Valkyrie and the D-Class Ford Shelby GTR. Quite appropriate choices if I am being honest, since none of these cars were like top tier on their respective classes to begin with. Hopefully the EVO boost will make both of these cars competitive once again. As usual, there will be a special event early on the new season where we will be able to get some EVO tickets for both of the new cars, so that's quite nice. Moving forward, we have some details in regards to the Flames of Fortune season, like the Legends Pass being the brand new Drive Syndicate required, Lexus LFA, Nürburgring pack, and then the Aston Martin Valkyrie being the main car of this upcoming season Ultimate Pass. But now let's get straight into the main dish of the new update patch notes, the cars. Before having a proper look into each one of these brand new cars, I would like to point out that this season is not something groundbreaking when it comes to car additions. Sure thing, there are some cool things, but once you see each one of the new cars, you realize that there is not that much worth going for. If we have a look at the new Lexus LFA, you can clearly see it's not that big of a deal, but that sort of makes sense since it's the Legends Pass car. But acceleration, alrightish nitro and top speed, and a rank that puts it in a filler position among a couple other C-Class cars. Later on, we have one of the two new cars we will be able to obtain from the new DragonForce collaboration Spotlight, the Porsche 935 DragonForce edition, which is, right as you can see, a worse version of the normal Porsche 935, despite of having more rank. This car is 14 km/h faster at the cost of being significantly worse at all the other stats, except in the Nitro, where it has basically the same value as the normal version. It's a new car and I will basically have to likely max it out while I have the opportunity to do so, but it honestly seems quite pointless to go for this brand new Porsche 935 if I'm being completely honest. But wait, because in regards to the new DragonForce Spotlight, there is yet another car to have a look at, and it's no more and no less than the Nilu 27 Nilu, a car I never heard about before, but that now seems like we will be able to unlock from the new DragonForce Spotlight along that new useless Porsche 935 Special Edition. Talking about the Nilu, however, you can clearly see that it's equally useless. Sure thing, you have a decent nitro and a top speed, but a catastrophically low acceleration and handling that will make this car feel like another filler in the middle of S-Class. I will be honest guys, I do not think there is a reason to spend your tokens into this brand new DragonForce Spotlight, not even if both of these cars turns out to be extremely floaty, since just by having a look at their stats, you can clearly see that none of them will be truly helpful other than for collecting dust, really. In regard to this brand new DragonForce Spotlight, you can have a look at all the information you will likely need on the screen right now. Honestly, in a way, I am thankful that they are not releasing any new truly powerful car through Spotlight like this, so people can feel less bad for not unlocking pure slop filler cars, as it's the case of both the new cars being added through this brand new Spotlight. But on the other side, these Spotlights basically force you to spend money to max the cars, since there is no time to get enough refills to get all the blueprints from the Spotlight shop, so it's not cool for me, since instead of tokens, I am certain I have to spend money to max out these useless cars, but it's a small worry in the grand scheme of things, I guess. The last car we will be able to unlock during this first season is no more and no less than the Rimac Nevera R. That's right guys, Gameloft finally decided to add this car, but instead of doing a special event or something like that, they just decided to repeat what they did last year with the SSC to Atara Striker. This is creating a brand new Drive Syndicate spin-off where you will be able to unlock it for free, but only if you had the required cars unlocked beforehand, and obviously at stars, meaning that there are no new cars to unlock other than the Legends Pass Lexus LFA and the Rimac Nevera itself, right as you can see on the screen right now. I personally don't think this is a bad concept, as a way to unlock basically the most interesting car of this entire update, but stats wise, I expected a bit better nitro at a 5000 rank points car that, sure thing, is faster than the normal Rimac Nevera, but still it's not fast enough to be considered a top speed oriented car. The acceleration is really good, but the nitro and handling are quite underwhelming. Not gonna lie, maybe it's extremely floaty, who knows, but as for now, it's not as insane as I expected it to be. The last two cars mentioned in the patch notes will arrive to the game during the second season of this update, and the first car will likely be the BMW M4 GT3 LEGO Technic Edition, yet another addition to the LEGO cars collection we already have on this game. I will be honest once again with you all guys, I am starting to get extremely tired of all these LEGO cars, basically because I get it's a huge collaboration and whatnot, but come on guys, most of them are just worse versions of cars we already had in game. At the end of the day, all of those cars just serve to collect dust on my garage, and this might be a me thing, but I personally prefer driving the original models over all these LEGO copies. In terms of performance, just as I said, it's basically a clone of the official model, and in regards to how it might arrive to the game, there is no confirmation yet, despite this one looks quite a lot like a Grand Prix car. At last but not least, at the final addition of this upcoming update cars lineup, we have the Icona Vulcano Spyder. I remember seeing this car somewhere in the car request quite some time ago, but I never cared too much about it until now. Normally, I could say it's some sort of filler, but not this time, since this car seems to have a decent top speed, paired with a somewhat decent acceleration and an alrightish nitro efficiency, so all in all, it's quite decent, based on what I could see from these stats. We will have to wait and see the test drives in order to obtain the final conclusion, and yeah, there is no clue in regards to how it will arrive into the game, but that's quite normal, since we will get the chance to unveil said knowledge on the next seasonal patch notes. Okay, and now that we are done with all the new cars coming to the game, it's time to have a look at all the new special events we will have to deal with through this first season, leaving aside the DragonForce Spotlight, which I already mentioned, as well as the EVO special event, whose details I have already mentioned as well. Aside from those, we will have a Lunar Year Spotlight, where you will be able to get blueprints and epics for both the Lamborghini SC18 and the W Motors Fenrir Supersport, so I guess it will be like a mini spotlight, just like the Cthulhu one. In terms of reruns, the Lotus ER9 will come back, this time with slightly different requirements, along with the DS E10's performance, whose Grand Prix will come back once again, giving you all the opportunity to log and start up, well, a quite mid car to be fully honest. There will be a seasonal revving thing, just like they have been doing for the last few updates, where if you unlocked all the cars from the previous update, you can get a ton of blueprints from a specific car, in this case the Bugatti Divo, and yeah, the McLaren Speedtail Starway will come back once again. Having a look at all the time limited events, and based in our experience with the Blue Monday time limited event we had this season, I will skip all the nonsensical events, and instead I will add here all the details in terms of car hunts and all what you might need to get the most important thing, free cars. It's worth noting that during this season, the Lamborghini Aventador G will have a special hunt, which it's quite good because it's not a top tier car, but at least is fun to drive, so make sure to save the dates for the cars you might want to go for from this image. Moving on from the events, it's time to dive into the adjustments and tweaks thing, starting with the EVO changes coming this update, which will affect the Bugatti Chiron. It seems like it needed some sort of adjustment, so they will be reconfiguring rank boost and some performance bonuses on the light kits of this car. I don't think it's a good idea to release a broken car and then kill it the next update, but we already got the chance to see how they literally do not give a flying fuck in regards to what the community thinks, so it's their game and they can do whatever they want with it, even if that implies harming players who spend tokens to EVO a car. There are not too many bug fixes this time, so this time I will use this space to tell you all that the day the update is likely to arrive, the 9th of February, there will be a server maintenance that will last for like 2 hours, as well as there is no date for the Nintendo Switch update final release, since it has been delayed again. There are some good news though, and it's that there will be more tracks available on Team Pursuit, so less is nothing, I guess. Looking from an overall perspective, I have to admit that this update is not that much of a big deal, considering how most of the cars included are quite mid and the content feels quite stale this time. We gotta get some updates like this so we can feel truly excited once something worth it shows up, I guess. Let me know which are your plans for this update, since it will be pretty much the average thing for me. Will you try and unlock any of these cars? Let me know in comment section, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you really soon as usual with much more Asphalt content. Goodbye guys!